Hi there and welcome to a new video. In this one we are going to be checking out Godot 4.4 Beta 1 that was just released. As you can see, we actually have lots of new things over here, but I'm going to quickly go over the most important ones. First of all, we have this new game tab over here, and if we press play, so right here with this new window, as you can see, you can still maximize it and do whatever you want. But for example, if I press in 3D, because right now I'm in 3D, I'm going to be able to select any 3D object such as this player, this platform, etc. and do whatever I want with it. I can, for example, if it had a script, variables or whatever, I would be able to just go ahead and modify those variables. Or I don't know, if I wanted to here select the head of this and move it, I would be able to do so. For example, over here I have the head, so let's set its Y position to be 0.5, okay? And now as you can see, it has been moved, or even to 2, and you're going to be able to see it even more. And you also have the mode for 2D and control nodes if you wanted to, and if you wanted to like continue playing the game normally, you just press here input to be able to continue moving as it should. As you can see here, I'm able to move in this way. Or an option that I think is even better is over here. You can disable make game workspace for loading on next play. So now when you start playing, it is going to be rendered directly over here. And once again, you can go to 3D and select this coin, for example, and do wherever you want with it. We are also going to be having now universal UID support. It's actually like a more complex topic, as you can see, required a whole post to be explained. But well, basically this will allow you to move your files around, reorder your folders, etc. And if you have, for example, preloaded some file, you can use this universal identifier or UID in order to avoid it from being moved or deleted when you create a reference to it, because now this is like a unique identifier for each of your files. Now, also talking about here the 3D space, whenever you want to select a camera, right now you're going to be having in the inspector this super outstanding preview. So if I move the camera, I can preview in real time the changes that are made. Also here in the inspector now, for example, let's say that you're always using the position or the rotation of the camera and you hate having to scroll down all the way down, you can actually right click on it and favorite it. So now it's going to appear at the top of it, and let's say, okay, now I want to modify the rotation and I can quickly do it and I don't have to anymore scroll down. And if I just want to delete this property from here from the top, I can directly unfavor it as well. So probably you will no longer be using this preview button over here. Now continue talking about the 3D environment. Right now if you go to project settings and you go to physics and 3D, you will see that the physics engine is still default, but you have this another option, Jolt physics. You may know what Jolt is, you may not, but well, it's basically the physics engine that was used, for example, in Horizon Forbidden West, and it's meant to be much more stable, that would have better behaviors, etc. And basically, being it's the new physics engine of Godot has been a highly requested feature. Right now, it is natively integrated, which means that you can directly select it over here and save and restart your project, and you are going to be using this Jolt physics. But as you can see, it is not the default physics engine selected over here. This is because they still have to implement some stuff and make it work correctly in Godot, okay? But probably maybe for the official release, Godot 4.5, the first versions, who knows, it is going to be the default physics engine, or that's at least the plan that they have. Also now we have object snapping inside of the editor. So for example, if I wanted to grab this coin and move it, okay, I can press down Shift plus G, okay, and while I'm holding it down, as you can see, it is going to be snapping, and as you can see, it's actually following the corresponding collision that it has been set up. So let me show you that. You can see here this orange box, so Shift G, and basically move within that box. Or if I want now to move this to the other platform, as you can see, I can do it quite simply, okay. So there you have it. Coming back to physics, we also now have physics interpolation, which is a technique that allows you to run your physics update at a very low FPS or frames per second while maintaining smooth movement. Not only that, but this also allows you to both save CPU overhead and make your game look much smoother. So well, whenever you're using physics interaction in Godot in lower frame rates, it's going to look much smoother. Another pretty interesting thing is that now we have documentation tooltip, so we can hover in mostly anything, and as you can see, we're going to have the documentation right over here, so we no longer have to control and click wherever we wanted to read something about some function, variable, or keyword in JavaScript or whatever. And also that we're over here, we now have typed dictionaries. So this will basically allow us to see the dictionary keys and values directly in the inspector. So I will just do here a pretty simple example. So now you can use the export annotation as you would do with any variable, and I will call it player speeds, for example, and this will be a dictionary. Okay, and here you between square brackets put the key and the value types in this case. So for the key type, it is going to be, for example, a string. Okay, and comma, and then you would put the value type. So in this case, for player speeds, it could probably be something like a float. So now, before, what you had to do when you wanted to use a dictionary is to assign these keys and values directly here in the code, in the script itself. I wanted to say, but right here now, as you can see, this pops up directly in the inspector, so it is much easier to add the key and the value. So for the key, let's say, for example, for player speed, let's say that our game has some kind of normal speed or standard speed. Let's actually call it standard speed of, I don't know, which is the speed over here, jump, movement speed 250. Okay, so let 250, and then you press here add key value pair, and there you have it, standard 250. You can modify these values as you want, but well, the key you can't, as far as it is right here, so you have to delete the entire key and value. So let's reach over here and let's put, I don't know, 45.75, for example. And then let's say that also we have a faster speed, okay, maybe when you have a power up or something like that. So now this value is going to be something like 90, and you have a slower speed of, I don't know, let's say 20.65. I know, I'm just putting there the first thing that comes to my mind. So well, here, yes, you can rename you can rename the keys, unfortunately, right now. But well, previously you had to put all this inside of here, so it would be a little bit clumsy, but now you can do everything directly in your inspector. And lastly, what I want to show you is that now when you are using a curve, so I will just create over here a curve. Now, before, you couldn't modify the domain, so the domains would always be from 0, from 1. Okay, but now you can directly set this max domain to be wherever you want. So now you're going to be having much more customization when it comes to using curves. This is like a more advanced feature for those who know how to use it. Because well, previously the only things that you were able to do with curves, at least here in the graph in the inspector, was to create normalized curves from 0 to 1, basically. Exactly like this, from 0, 0 to 1, 1. So well, this is all for 4.4 beta 1 over here, 4.4 beta 1. And let me know what you think in the comments down below. See you in the next one.